Have you ever wondered if you could be missing out on money that's already available simply because nobody told you to ask for it? Today, I'm going to share 5 important phone calls that could help you claim money you may already be entitled to. These aren't random tips or general advice. They're specific actions that could lead to higher pension payments, tax savings, or valuable financial support. Some of these calls take only a few minutes, but they could make a lasting difference. Welcome to Pension and Benefits Guide. If you want clear and reliable information about UK pensions, benefits, and government support, you're in the right place. Let's get started. The first call is one that could affect thousands of people who worked in the UK during the 1970s, 1980s, or 1990s. Many people don't realise that before modern computerised payroll systems, employers submitted national insurance records on paper. Mistakes happened, and in some cases, businesses closed before records were properly updated. As a result, some workers now have missing qualifying years on their national insurance record even though they were working full-time. Why does this matter? Because every qualifying year that is missing can reduce your state pension by around £6.89 per week. That may not sound like much at first, but over the course of a year, and especially throughout retirement, it can add up to thousands of pounds. There have been cases where people checked their records, found missing years, provided evidence to HMRC, and had those years restored. Their weekly state pension increased, and they also received backdated payments covering the money they had already missed. If you worked during those years, it's worth logging into your personal tax account on gov.uk and reviewing your national insurance record. If you see a year marked as not full, even though you know you were working, contact HMRC's National Insurance Contributions Office and ask for a review. If the record is corrected, your state pension can be recalculated, and if you're already receiving it, you may also receive backdated arrears. Now let's move to the second phone call, and this one has an important deadline. It's about pension credit. Many people assume pension credit is only for those with very little income, but every year hundreds of thousands of eligible pensioners never claim it. A successful claim can provide an average of nearly £3,900 each year through direct payments and linked support such as council tax reduction, the winter fuel payment, the warm home discount, and cold weather payments. One of the biggest things people overlook is that pension credit can normally be backdated for up to 3 months from the date you apply. Since the financial year began on the 6th of April, applying sooner could allow eligible claimants to recover payments going back to April. But every week that passes reduces how much can be backdated. There's another reason not to delay. The qualifying week for this year's winter fuel payment falls during the 3rd week of September. Because pension credit claims usually take 6 to 8 weeks to process, waiting until the last minute could mean missing that important payment. Around 880,000 pensioners across the UK are estimated to be entitled to pension credit but aren't claiming it. If you're a single pensioner with weekly income below £218.15, or part of a couple with combined weekly income below £332.95, it may be worth contacting the pension credit claim line to check whether you're eligible. And if you make a claim, don't forget to ask whether it can be backdated to the earliest possible date. Before we continue, if you're finding this information useful, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to Pension and Benefits Guide, and share it with someone who may benefit from it. A simple share could help a friend or family member discover support they never knew existed. Now let's talk about the third phone call. If you've reached state pension age and a physical or mental health condition affects your daily life, attendance allowance could be worth looking into. This benefit can pay up to £114.60 per week, which is around £5,959 a year. It's tax-free, isn't means-tested, has no savings limit, and you don't need to already have someone caring for you. Many people believe only severe illnesses qualify, but that's not how attendance allowance works. The DWP looks at how your condition affects your everyday life rather than simply the name of your medical condition. For example, arthritis that makes dressing or bathing difficult, hearing or vision problems that require assistance, early-stage dementia that requires prompting, Parkinson's disease, heart failure, or chronic pain affecting mobility may all be relevant depending on how they affect daily living. Around 1 million people across the UK may be entitled to attendance allowance but are not receiving it. The timing of this call is especially important because attendance allowance is generally backdated only to the date your claim form reaches the DWP, not to when your health condition first started. You can contact the Attendance Allowance helpline and request the AA1 claim form. That request helps protect your claim date, and you'll normally have 6 weeks to complete and return the form. Here's something many people don't know. If you're awarded the higher rate of attendance allowance, live alone, and no one receives carer's allowance for caring for you, that award could also trigger the severe disability addition within pension credit, worth £86.50 per week during the 2026-27 period. In some situations, one successful claim could increase your income through 2 different benefits. Now let's move on to the 4th phone call. If you've been widowed and your husband or wife reached state pension age before April 2016, you may want to ask whether your pension has been reviewed for any inherited state pension entitlement. Under the old state pension system, some people could inherit part of their late spouse's additional state pension built up through SERPS. Although these adjustments were intended to happen automatically, the DWP has confirmed that not every case was processed correctly. The department has identified more than 130,000 underpayment cases worth over £84 million. The average correction has been around £5,500 for married women and more than £11,000 for widows, with some people receiving over £40,000 in back payments. The correction exercise is expected to close in March 2027. So if you're widowed, receive the old state pension, and have never asked whether inherited SERPS has been applied correctly, it's worth contacting the Pension Service Bereavement Line and requesting a review. Finally, let's look at the 5th phone call. If you're married or in a civil partnership, marriage allowance could reduce your household's tax bill. If one partner earns less than the personal allowance of £12,570, they may be able to transfer £1,260 of unused personal allowance to their spouse or civil partner. That can reduce the higher earner's tax bill by £252 each year. What's even better is that eligible couples can currently backdate claims for complete tax years, potentially receiving up to £1,008 as a lump sum, plus another £252 for the current tax year, making a total possible benefit of £1,260. However, the oldest backdating year expires on the 5th of April, 2027, so it's important not to leave it too late. The application can be completed through gov.uk, and in most cases there's no need to pay a claims management company to do something you can apply for yourself. So let's quickly recap. Check your national insurance record for missing qualifying years. See whether you're eligible for pension credit before important deadlines pass. If your health affects your daily life, consider checking attendance allowance. If you've been widowed, ask whether any inherited state pension entitlement has been correctly applied. And if you're married or in a civil partnership, check whether marriage allowance could reduce your tax bill before the backdating deadline expires. Now I'd like to hear from you. Which of these 5 calls do you think could help you or someone you know the most? Let us know in the comments below because your experience could help others. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Thanks for watching Pension and Benefits Guide, and I'll see you in the next video.